Okay, welcome back guys to episode 2 of season 1 of my Tiddley Racing Formula 1 series. Last episode we did pretty well. I finished top 10, which I didn't think I would, so we're going to go and up the AIs ever so slightly just to see if the drivers can be a little bit more competitive. Okay, so to activities now. So what have we got? Up awareness, up team, up some driver specs, chassis. Okay, so we're going to do something for the team. Let's do this 2-day sponsor event, which will increase our team acclaim. So sponsorships, we can actually put on a new sponsor. So main aim is to get some income, so I've sorted these with the highest weekly income, which comes in as Atlantic. So Atlantic's goal, as a team, complete a total of 75 laps during a race weekend. So that seems possible because that includes practice, qualifying, and the race as well. So races usually 30 laps per race, so that's 60 laps for both of us, and then we only have to do a few laps per practice, and then a couple laps qualifying, so that's easily achievable. So R&D, let's see what we should upgrade. So let's go for Rupert's recommendation. Upgrade the front aero wings, develop standard.
If it were me, this is probably what I'd
Let's see what else Rupert recommends. Chassis, weight distribution upgrade, sorted, bish bash bosh. Let's see what development comes in. So our power upgrade worked. Glad that came in. And now we can continue on to the race weekend. This is quite a fast track, so I increased the top speed specs. I don't really know which specs to change, so I'll just go for the preset ones.
Open the multifunction display, and then again to cycle to the tyres and damage screen. Engine fired, we're set.
Coming around the start finish. Quali lap 1 underway. Braking points were a big issue in my first round, so let's see if I can get my braking points for this race. So it's okay, decent. Whoop, bit of a squirm on the exit there. Got a bit of traffic up ahead. Braking point, then decent. This corner I always managed to screw up, so I was a bit tentative going in there. Get a mild slipstream from these guys up ahead, pulling me along. So a bit of a tentative lap, but I wanted to try and keep it clean, which I did for the most part. I'm coming in 8th. So back into the garage now. So to see where we are, we actually ended 14th. So 14th definitely won't be good enough as these guys go out again. So let me flip on some fresh tyres, take a bit of fuel out of the engine, and then just go out for lap 2. Cheers, Jeff. So crossing the start finish now. Let's get lap 2 underway. So horrible braking point. I lose a bit of time, but I gain it a bit on the exit. Much for muchness right now. So I'm still unsettled on the steering wheel for this controller. Up ever so slightly for sector 1. A bit tentative braking, tentative on the throttle on the exit. This is the corner where I can usually make up a lot of time if I find it right. So I've made up 1.5 tenths just on that corner alone. Okay, so still almost 2 tenths up, trying to keep it clean. 2.5 tenths up. 1 more corner to go. Don't mess it up. Okay, out very wide on that. Scrubbed off all of my gains, but still 2 tenths up. Let's see where we place. Place 12th. Okay, I'm happy with that. So through again to Q2. Tatiana, not doing very good. So as we go into qualifying round 2, my first lap was a bit of, as you can see, it was a bit of a mess. A number of corners I was well out wide, squirming all over the place, late braking. So that one got me pretty much Tatiana's time, 29.6. So that's going to do no good. I'll put on my fresh tyres and I'll go for a second lap. So start the cross finish now. This is our do or die lap. We're dead last right now. So again, not the best of braking points or exits on that turn. Made up a chunk of time on that exit. It's coming in a little bit more aggressive. Almost 3 tenths up just from that corner. Now can I get this troublesome corner right? Again, managed to gain some time, but then a little squirm on the exit scrubbed it off. Coming up to the last sector now. This is the sector where I can make up most of my time. So we're up half a second. So last time I went out way wide on this last exit. So if I get this right, I can make up a chunk of time. Good. So I managed to stay on track. Now a second up on my time. Across the line, let's see where we finish. So 13th. Okay, so that's basically mid of the pack. Don't make it through to Q3, which I didn't really expect. Happy to be in Q2. And we finished 13th. So 13th on the grid will be a good place to start, good place to try and gain some ground.
The stage is set for another enthralling race here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. A Ferrari stronghold in years gone by, but will they be able to add to their record today? We go racing today around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit, with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, You're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap, so always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have
So Vettel's still qualifying high up now. They still haven't got the 2020 memo of Ferrari doing absolute dog doo-doo.
Leclerc, Norris, the captain, and Raikkonen, Gasly, Kvyat, Antonio Giovinazzi, and George Russell, Grosjean, Magnussen, Latifi, and Tatiana
Calderon already taken a grid place penalty. That must be through, I don't know what that's from. She shouldn't have any engine issues.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Cheers, Jeff. Very hopeful for a top 10 finish. So, Bahrain, soft tyres pretty much don't work around here. They go off super quick. I'm going to stick with a one-stop strategy, standard, medium to hards. I think a lot of people will be doing that. So formation lap, warm up the Tyree 2s, so warm up my shoes. Actually messed up that start there. I jumped to second gear.
Okay, our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get
Will do, Jeff.
Into the tyres and work the brakes.
That's the aim.
Nice and warm by the end of the lap. The rest of the grid is
so coming in now.
And watch for the lights.
Formation lap done. 5 red lights coming up, and away we go. Okay, start. Didn't gain, didn't lose. ERS going, ERS on. So I'm cutting around all the way around the outside. I managed to gain a nice chunk of places there. Bit of contact with Vettel, good old aggressive Vettel. No damage to the wings, which is again a surprise. I've got my damage settings set up to standard simulation, so I'm not quite sure how I'm surviving all of these contact points. So bad exit there, got that little sequence wrong, lost 2 places. Stroll holding me up. So actually I'm still up 5 places. And these guys are all on soft, so they should have the upper hand right now, so I'm not too worried about losing a couple of places. But if I can keep pace, then it will be good standing for me towards the middle of the race, where I can jump these guys on my medium tyres. So getting these corners a bit wayward. Can I stay ahead of Ocon? Good old Ocon. Can Stroll pull me along in this slipstream? I seem to have decent straight line pace because, whoop, definitely. So lost 1, probably 2 places from that, squirming all over the place.
Okay, you're in the top.
Cheers, Jeff. Pretty sure we can count. So Ricciardo trying to go on the inside, spooking me a little bit. Managed to keep him at bay. Can I stick with Ocon? Squirming here and there. Better sequence of corners this time, but this middle section of the track I'm terrible with. I lose a lot of time. I leave myself wide open for overtakes, especially on this corner. I managed to get that one okay, and I can pull away with my ERS on the straight. But Ocon's now way out. I'm way out of Ocon's DRS zone, so I'm going to be a bit of a sitting duck for Ricciardo on these straights on the 3rd lap.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS.
DRS open now. Still a bit too far out from Ocon. Now further on into lap now, and oh my didgery donuts. What is this guy doing? Ricciardo just went straight into the back of me. Don't know what happened there, let's go and take a look. So he tries to go around the outside, but there's literally no space there. So I completely knock off his front wing. And as we can see now, every corner he's falling back a lot. I'm pretty sure he's going to lose his place to Gasly. So he's holding up Gasly as well now that they're both over a second behind. So that was a big blow to Ricciardo. Not only has he lost a couple of seconds on this lap, he's going to have to come in and pit early. He's holding up Gasly big time.
We're leading our teammate by 9.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in 22nd. The time last lap was a 1 minute.
Come on, Tatiana. You can do better than 20 seconds. Our car's not that bad.
Ocon is ahead of you.
So on to lap 5 now. And we're still chasing down Ocon. He's pulling away a second or so every lap, but he is still on the fresh soft tyres. So coming up to lap 6, 7, 8, his tyres should start screaming, so I should hopefully start making some gains.
Perez is behind you. The gap to the car behind is 1.3 seconds.
Perez
They're on
behind
old
me.
softs. Their tyres are 4 laps old. We think they've got 2 stops remaining. The time last lap was a
He's
1
on
minute
semi-fresh soft, so
33.6.
he's going to be making some gains onto me. Squirming out of that corner again. A lot of squirming on this track. So that squirm took out a big chunk of time. Now Perez is hot on my tail. He's going to wait for his opportunity to pounce to see if I can see how well I can hold him off. Coming into my famous didgeridoo corner. Whoop. Locking up. That was very bad, so Perez is even closer now. To pull away with my ERS. Oops, squirming again. Have a bit of a squirm. So that will not bode well for these next 2 straights, because now Perez is way closer than he should have been. So I'm going to have to use a lot of ERS to try and keep him just on the edge of my DRS zone. So by the time we get to the corner, he's not close enough to make a lunge. Okay, so Albon pitting now. So this means lap 7, everyone's tyres are going to start to scream, so I should hopefully be making some inroads. Now Ocon pitting, Vettel pitting, Perez, so everyone around me is basically pit. They're off the softs.
No tyre concerns at the moment.
My
Just
tyres are
focus
still
on the driving.
relatively fresh, so I've still got a few laps in these. So now coming up to lap 9. So now the front runners have actually pit as well, so I'm leading the pack. Let's see for how long I can hold this number 1 spot. Something tells me not very long. Yeah, because apparently Ferrari is still pretty good in this game.
You're dropping a second a lap to the car behind. 1 second.
Oh, Nicholas Latifi's out of the session now. What happened to good old Lats? Leclerc kind of squeezing on the inside. Managed to keep him behind me, but for how long? I'm sure Ferrari's faster on the straights, and he's going to have DRS on this after this corner. my ERS open. I'm running low, so I need to turn it off. Is he going to make a lunge? Oh, nope. I'll break a bit too deep, but it's okay on this instance, on this occasion. So now coming up to lap 11, tyres are still okay. But Leclerc is super close, so I don't think I'm going to be able to hold him off on this DRS zone. Yep, so he cruises by, he's way too close that time. So I'm hoping I can stay in his DRS train, because Hamilton and Bottas are very close behind, so they're going to be passing me soon, and they're on fresh tyres. Hamilton's closing on every single corner. This is my famous middle sector 2, where every other turn's complete doggy doo-doo. This one in particular. But Hamilton doesn't make the silly mistake Ricciardo did, where he tried to bulldoze me right around the outside where there's absolutely no room. Don't know what on earth he was thinking. Completely messed up his own race. So Leclerc's managed to pull away. He is on fresher tyres and obviously a better car, judging to F1 2020. I'm surprised Hamilton's been behind me for this long. So I'm sure on this straight, now once the DRS is open on the next turning, he's going to breeze past me, as probably will Bottas, because he's going to have the double toe with both me and Hamilton. So I stay on the inside. Bottas is hot on my tail. Hamilton's through now, and I actually managed to keep Bottas out just by the skin of my teeth, but he's probably going to pass me here because the Mercedes has a much better engine than mine, obviously. But no, Bottas is, I guess he's way too tentative, a lot more so than Hamilton.
Hamilton is ahead of you. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 3 laps old.
Yeah, there's absolutely no chance that I would hang with Hamilton on fresh soft tyres. My tyres are starting to scream a bit now. Lock up a little bit. Good old Bottas doesn't run into the back of me. So now Bottas is getting caught by Verstappen. Verstappen's on better tyres than Bottas, so he's going to be struggling to keep fourth. Oh, so that little squirm on that terrible exit. Let's Bottas through, let's Verstappen through. And now my tyres are struggling a little bit, so I'm going to be coming in on this lap. I actually make more contact now. I went right into the back of Verstappen. Check if I've got any damage. No damage, but you can see my left front tyre is almost on red. So it's on bright orange. So I'm going to have to definitely pit this lap and get some fresh tyres on. So I can't even hang with Verstappen, so I'm going to be out of their DRS zone. I'm not going to be able to benefit from any of their slipstream because they're already way too far ahead. So we've got Gasly by me by 5 seconds.
Pitting this lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap.
So coming into the pits now. Let's see where Oh, come on, I'm going on to the hards. Gasly is coming in with me. So Leclerc pit. That was his second stop, I believe. Nice quick pit stop for me, 2.3 seconds. Good job, guys. Everyone's pitting. It seems like they're all on their second stops now, so everyone's going to be on the hards.
That was our last stop.
Some of the front guys might be on mediums. So behind Magnussen, behind Ocon, they're going to battle it out and maybe give me a chance to pounce. We've got Senorita Calderon behind me. So she's still on her. So she's either on her first set of tyres or she's already stopped. She must be on her first set of tyres. So she's still on her medium, so she shouldn't be troubling me much at all. Not that she would anyway, because she's pretty bad.
Use your overtake button more, it's time to utilise some of this energy.
So Magnussen is actually out of Ocon's DRS zone, so I'm going to be looking to pounce on this straight. I'm probably going to get ahead of him even before then. So easy pass on Magnussen, can't handle the power.
You've moved up to P12.
So Kvyat's pitting, Magnussen's pitting, so he was on tyres as well. So Calderon, she's also pitting, she was on her old tyres, so all of these guys are now going to be on hards. So Ocon now, second and a half ahead, can I make him race?
Tatiana is coming in for a stop. We're in 10th position. Ocon ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 1.7 seconds. They're on old mediums. Perez behind. Okay, the gap behind is 1.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. The distance to the leader is
so coming up to lap 16 now.
Look after these tires
made
now.
no real gains on Ocon. So good old Perez behind me now. So Perez comes back out behind me. I was wondering when I'd see you again, good old Sergio Perez. So I'm actually catching Ocon now, which is a bit of a surprise. So he's on mediums. He might actually have another stop, because I think he's going medium, soft. Or soft, medium, one of those. So opening up my DRS now. I'm a bit far back from him, so I don't think I'm going to make any inroads on this corner. So I managed to close the gap ever so slightly, but we're coming up to my good old sector 2, which I'll pretty much lose a second on. There we go, that definitely doesn't help. So there's my second gone, and I'm only halfway through the sector 2. So no squaring from there. Traction's actually okay on that instance.
Ocon ahead, gap to car in front is 1.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 9 laps old. We think they've got one more stop.
So Ocon does actually have another stop, I was right. So as long as I can stay with Ocon now, he shouldn't really trouble me for position. So I'm going to be 15 seconds or so ahead of him once he hits the pits, which he's going into now. So he's going to have 10 laps to catch me, which I don't think he'll be able to do. Perez in the pits as well. Sainz in the pits.
The gap to the car ahead is 2.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 9 laps old.
So Stroll's got another stop as well. He's probably going to be going on to the softs. So he's going to have a good chance to catch up. See if I can catch him up before he heads into the pits. So coming up to lap 20 now, and Stroll's gone into the pits. I'm not sure if he's going to be on mediums or softs, because 9 laps is quite a stint for the softs. For Bottas, Verstappen, I'm pretty sure these guys, they've done all of their stops now.
Behind you, the gap behind us is 1.4 seconds. They're on old mediums.
So old mediums, 2 laps old are not old mediums, Jeff. Come on, sort yourself out. So Vettel's got fresh tyres, he's going to recapture me, he's on the better compound. So every corner he's eating away at the time by a tenth or two. So another lap or so and he should catch me.
Bottas is ahead of you. Gap to car in front is 14.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 2 laps old. The time
again, Jeff,
was a 1 minute.
2 laps is not old.
You're losing around 1.6 seconds.
But anyway, coming into this god-awful second sector of mine. Squirming all over the place, going wide. Basically leave the door wide open for Vettel. So I'm not going to fight too hard because this corner's bad for me anyway. I just want to get a decent enough exit so I can stay with him. So if I can keep within Vettel's DRS zone, that should hopefully give me a good standing to stay in ahead of Sainz. Because Sainz is on fresher tyres, he's on the better compound, so he's going to be making pretty swift gains on me if I fall away from Vettel. So I'm doing a decent enough a job staying with Vettel. This DRS obviously giving me a bit of a boost on each straight. But now as we come up to the sector 2,
the grip levels to start falling away soon.
Good timing, Jeff. Tyres are okay, but grip is actually sliding off. As I'm barely into sector 2 now, and I'm screwing up all of these turns. I've lost about 2 seconds on Vettel. Sainz is now only a second behind me. So Sainz is going to be giving me trouble. I'm probably going to lose this place now that I'm way off Vettel's DRS slipstream.
Keep managing your tyres. Manage your tyres.
Bottas actually falls behind to 4th. Although he does have fastest lap still. So Sainz is going to be hot on my tail. He's going to have DRS open on this. I need a good exit, otherwise I'm toast. Actually managed to keep him off, but good old dodgy donut sector 2. I'm sure he's going to breeze past me like I'm not even there. I don't think I'm ever going to get that corner. So DRS will be open for him, but coming up to lap 25 now, I managed to stay ahead of him.
You're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Keep pushing.
Whoop. Very squirmy on the exit, leaves the door wide open for Sainz, but he actually had to check his speed because he was going to go right in the back of me.
We're leading our teammate by 35.4 seconds. They're on old hards. They're in 20th. The time last lap was a 1:33.7.
Well, I guess you've made a position. Should be doing better though, to be honest. So Sainz getting ever so closer every lap. It's a bit of a struggle to keep him at bay, given that he's on the better compounded tyres. And then good old trusty section 2, where all of a sudden I can't really drive the donkey. Oh, lock up. Very dodgy braking there. Leave the door wide open for Sainz. Can I pull away of opening up my ERS? He's going to have DRS open.
Behind you, less than a second separate you. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 6 laps old.
6 laps old.
Was a 1 minute 32.7.
They're not that old, Jeff. Come on, my tyres are what, 12 laps old? They're old tyres, not 6. Bit jittery on the exit. Desperately need this corner to go well, otherwise I'm going to get blitzed. Not the best of exits, but for some reason, I don't know what happened with Sainz there. Let's check that out. So Sainz wanted to go on the inside, but he was way too far out to even attempt that, so he had to check his speed. So that's actually helped me. He's fallen back by over a second, so hopefully I can keep him outside of my DRS zone, and it'll be a bit of a stroll. But whoop, nope. Coming up to lap 28 now, he's straight back in it. Half a second behind me, he's going to be closing in with DRS. Oh, I brake way too late on that one. Wasn't concentrating. Side by side. Can I pull away from him? I'm running out of ERS, so I have to concede. So he makes that stick pretty quick, just in time for sector 2.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Which I apparently get worse and worse every lap at sector 2. Yep. So now after those good couple of corners, he's a second behind. I doubt I'm going to be in his DRS zone. Oh, I do actually manage to catch it. So 1.5 laps to go. I should manage to keep his DRS, so Gasly is a bit too far behind to, unless I crash obviously, but
This is your
Gasly
final lap of the race.
way too far behind to make any kind of threat for my position, so looks like I'm going to be finishing in the top 10 again. So, well, I guess it's a good thing because I'm progressing, but I'm going to have another look at the driver AI difficulty, so we can raise that again next race, because we shouldn't really be finishing this comfortably inside the top 10. We should be fighting a bit more. So I'll probably put it up to legendary status. I'm definitely not a legend right now. This is my second race, but if it drives like a legend, looks like a legend, guess it must be a legend, eh? Hey, so coming across the finish, P7. I'm very happy with that, Jeff. Give me some praise.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Okay, don't give me some praise, but hopefully in the garage give me some praise, otherwise I'm going to be having words with the boss, which, by the way, is me. Should be bootlicking, mate.
So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows.
Well done,
Anthony,
Hammy Hamilton.
tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on the track was today: speed. I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, Crofty, but fast cars win races, and we
Yes,
saw
they
that today
do.
with our winner.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium.
No
Once
surprise
again,
there
it's the
then. Silver Arrows,
who take top spot.
Hamilton
A
at the
well-earned
top.
victory for the
Bottas, oh, Bottas actually came second. I thought he was struggling a bit. So the other guys must not have pitted, perhaps. When I last saw he was down in 4th. But Verstappen doing well, finishing 3rd.
Let's
So
see what
Hammy,
effect this
Bottas,
result has
Verstappen,
had on the
Leclerc did
driver's
very
stand.
well. He did
Lewis
the one
Hamilton
stop.
takes the lead of the Drivers'
Vettel, don't
Championship.
know why he's up
So,
there,
Anthony
but
Davidson,
apparently
who would
he's
you rank as your
finishing
driver
5th these
of the
days.
day?
I'll probably go for Pierre Gasly. The team did a good job with the strategy to put him in amongst the pack, but it's the driver's job to capitalise on those opportunities, and he did so with a lot of skill.
Let's move on to the constructors. Mercedes continue to extend their lead.
So I came 7th. Where did
After an
Miss
event like that,
Tatiana
who knows
come?
what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again
Miss
as we
Calderon,
continue to bring
she
you the
came
latest
20th.
excitement
So
in Formula
started
1.
22nd, again gained 2 positions, not the best finish. But I guess she's not going backwards, which is a good thing. So onwards and upwards, hopefully better standing in for the next
That was an
race.
exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours.
It was indeed.
You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
Many positions. The car was great, it was super nimble.
You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled.
They are very thrilled.
Great.
Short
Well, that's
interview,
everything.
but okay, I'll see you when I see you. So overall, very happy with that race. Finishing 7 is more I could have asked for. I'm happy to be middle of the pack. P10 is kind of what I'm aiming for. So next race, I'll be upping the AI difficulty because I seem to be getting on well. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed episode 2 of season 1 of my F1 2020 Road to 100, and I'll see you next time.